Good evening, everyone. We'll take questions for Radu Drăgușin for 10 minutes, and we'll try to get through as many questions as we can in this time. We'll take questions from the floor, and if you could please use the microphones provided. A microphone.
Radu, I'll just start. We were just speaking to the manager there who was talking about the defensive problems that Spurs have got at the moment. You're the last man standing when it comes to fit and available central defenders. How does that make you feel?
Good evening. I mean, yeah, obviously with injuries is always tough, you know, because you have to manage very good players, and then you know when you go on the pitch, you have to give your best, regardless of which position you used to play. But yeah, I mean, like I said, we are a group of players with quality that I trust a lot, and regardless of any injury problem, we will go out there and do our best and try to play our football.
It sounds from the way the manager was speaking that young Archie Gray will come in and play alongside you in centre defence tomorrow. How can you help him in a position he's not used to and what will be a very hostile atmosphere?
Yeah, I think he already played a couple of games as a centre back, but the way we train is the same as a centre back and as a right back or left back. So, I mean, we have our principles, and everybody knows their job. And in a defensive way, everybody knows what they have to do. Yeah. So, but of course, I will try to help him and then to talk to him throughout the game.
Radu, in Galatasaray, you experienced a pretty hostile atmosphere. You're going to have another one tomorrow with the extra spice of the old Celtic manager, your manager, going back there. How do you go about handling that atmosphere?
Looking forward to it, honestly, because I heard about the atmosphere here. Also, you know, playing these European nights, it's a really nice way of improving, of experiencing this kind of pressure, let's say, with this atmosphere. But like I said, we are looking forward to it, and hopefully we're gonna get the points.
Hello, Radu. Do you think you'll be better at handling it than you were in Galatasaray? It looks like some players were shaken by it.
I mean, you know, the atmospheres differ from stadium to stadium. But like I said, we're gonna try to focus as good as we can tomorrow, and yeah, looking forward to the atmosphere.
Radu, how do you think Rangers will compare to the normal level you have in England? They've done quite well in Europe. They're starting to get some results just now. What do you know about them and the players that you might have to look out for from Rangers?
I mean, yeah, we analyzed them these days, obviously, and prepared the match. We know that they're a team that likes to put the physicality in. They like to bring this part of the game in their football. And I think most of the game will be about winning our individual duels and try playing our football always.
You talked about pressure there. Do you feel pressure that this is a game that Spurs have to win?
I mean, look, pressure is always it's present in any football game, regardless of the results that you had in the past. It's just something that we have to continue to stick to our principle, believe in our way of playing, and the results will come.
Hi, Radu. You've obviously been almost a year now playing for Postecoglou. How comfortable are you now with the style of football, with the high line, with the passing under the press, and all that sort of stuff?
On a personal idea, I think I improved a lot. I feel like under him and under the staff we have him, I evolved as a player, and yeah, like you said, the way we defend here, it was really different than the way I defended in the past. But I think it's a really nice way of playing football and enjoyable.
And as you're the only kind of fit centre back now, can you feel like people around you, the staff, are trying to be careful with you and keep you fit, and because they can't risk losing you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we train the same way we used to train since I came here, so that's not an issue now. I mean, it's like everyday stuff.
Now, what do you put down this kind of big injury list to? Is it the amount of kind of, like you say, the fast training you do all the time? Is it just bad luck, or is it all of it?
Like I said, injuries will always be present in a squad, regardless of the way we train and the way we play. But like I said, I really like the way we play because it's a very aggressive way. We caught a lot of offsides, and we have an advantage on this defensive part.
Radu, similar question, but can you just talk about how intensive it is to play Ange's football every kind of 3 days with that high line, having to run back? I mean, what do you feel like after a match?
Personally, I feel that I already got the rhythm of it playing. You know, especially in the last period, I played a couple of good games, and I feel good. Yeah, I can't tell that I'm tired or anything.
Is it intensive though, having to kind of run back in that high line when you're kind of defending so high up the pitch?
It is, but like I said, we train for this every day, and because of that, we can manage to do this every game. And like I said, in the last games, I don't feel any kind of issue doing it.
And for you personally, you had a rough start in this competition against Karabakh, and it was a tough atmosphere in Galatasaray. I mean, what do you feel you've kind of learned in this competition so far, and do you feel like you're developing in it as you go along?
I mean, yeah, it's the first time I play in a regularly in a European competition, so I didn't really know what to expect. But I think with the time I grow on the, let's say, experience side. But like I said, I'm still in the beginning of my let's say career, and I have a lot to learn from it.
Any more? No.
Thank you very much.
Press conference ahead of tomorrow's game against Rangers. Take questions from the floor first. I believe there's a microphone is there to go around. Do you want to start us off?
Absolutely. Ange, welcome back.
Thank you,
How big a game is this for you, coming back here to the stadium, and also in the context of the season at the moment?
Yeah, no, it's obviously significant for a couple of reasons. Obviously, when the draw came out, it was the one that was most of interest to me because of, I guess, my history up here. And yeah, looking forward to it. Should be a good game, and also, like I said, in the context of sort of where we are in Europe, important game. I think important game for both clubs. You know, a positive result gets you a good way to getting through the knockout stages. So looking forward to it.
What kind of game are you expecting tomorrow night? How highly do you rate this current Rangers team? And you know all about the stadium and the atmosphere here. European nights arguably goes up even a notch.
Yeah, absolutely, and you've seen that this year as well. You know, but yeah, obviously when I was up here, yeah, particularly in my first year, I mean, they made the Europa League final, so I got a pretty clear idea of how you know, how challenging it is to play them here in front of that crowd and the atmosphere, but at the same time exciting. You know, you're looking forward to big games, and I'm sure the players are as well.
And Rangers have had a good couple of domestic results recently, but they've tended to be better in European competition than domestic football this season. What have you made of that difference, and as you say, the results in European competition this season?
Yeah, I guess yeah, obviously probably the domestic season hasn't gone as in the league anyway, has gone as well as they would have liked. But you know, you can tell there's still the elements there of quality. They're in the cup final on the weekend, and they've done really well in Europe. So I guess for us, it's a one-off game, and in one-off games, you're always looking at, you know, how teams perform when they're at their best, and at their best, they're shown they're still a good outfit, and like I said, a good challenge for us.
Hi, Ange. The atmosphere was referenced there. Is that something you have to warn the players about? You have to fill them in and tell them what to expect, or is it you just expect them? They've handled these kind of occasions before. Yeah,
it's part of the experience. I mean, we were at, we played Galatasaray last home game, and that was pretty decent atmosphere as well. But again, you want to experience that, and yeah, we've got a young team at the moment, and I think the more we can expose them to games like this, I think the better it'll serve us. You know, moving forward. I mean, if we get through to the knockout rounds, they're the kind of games where there's going to be a pretty hot atmosphere, and you've got to be able to handle all that, and also I think look forward to it, because you want to play in big games like that.
And you've not had your problems to seek when it comes to injuries these last few weeks, right through the spine of your team. How are you looking ahead of this one tomorrow?
Yeah, not much better, to be fair. Yeah, we obviously. With the weekend's fallout, Romero and Van der Ven, we're still sort of getting some clarity around their, the prognosis. But both have sort of picked up injuries that will keep them out again. So that's disappointing for us because obviously we're pretty thin on numbers. But we've had to deal with that for quite a while now, and everyone else from the weekend got through okay. And Bentoncourt's obviously available, who's been suspended, so at least we get him back.
I think there was a report in Argentina today that's to say that Romero could be facing up to 6 weeks on the sidelines after what happened on Sunday. Are you able to clarify that?
We at the moment, I mean, it's we're still sort of getting more information on both the guys, and I wouldn't put any timeline on it yet.
In terms of the positions of those players, the two centre-halves, Bentancur being out, your goalkeeper as well, how frustrating is it, how difficult is it for you to deal with when it's the spine of your team, if you like?
Yeah, it's challenging. I mean, we've obviously also got Ben Davies out, who was played a big part for us while the other two have been out. So it's no secret we're thin on numbers. We're both squad wise and position wise. But it is what it is. We can't change that. We've got some big games coming up starting tomorrow, and we'll have to deal with it with what we've got. And I'm still very confident we'll be able to get the job done with the players at our disposal.
And just going back to Ibrox, what were your memories here managing when you were the Celtic boss, and what kind of reception are you expecting tomorrow?
I think what kind of reception I'll get. I loved it. It was different experiences, mixed. I think the first one we were here, we lost, and then next one when we only had sort of 500 or 600 in the building, we won, and that was pretty special. But it's I've enjoyed all the games against Rangers, all the derbies. They're big games here in Scotland, obviously, and usually very significant games. So they're either title deciders or cup knockouts. So they're always big games, and I enjoyed them all. I enjoy the atmosphere, and like I said, European nights here. It's going to be something that you want to be a part of, and hopefully overcome.
Hi, Ange. Can I ask you, with Mickey, is it the same hamstring injury again?
It's the same side. Whether it's the same one, obviously we just got to get clarity on sort of whether it's exactly the same spot or a different spot.
Is this the worst injury crisis you've kind of ever faced?
Yeah, by a fair stretch.
I mean, when you've had this 2 seasons in a row as well, I mean, do you just see it as bad luck, or do you have to look at all the possible factors?
No, I never think it's just bad luck. Some of it is. I've never lost a goalkeeper for this period of time. I've had other issues that we've had. But some of it is reoccurring, particularly this year in terms of guys coming back and sort of re-injuring. So it is stuff we're looking at, and you're always trying to explore whether we can do things better. I think last year was a bit different from this year. Last year it hit us across the board. This year it's more of a case of guys who are coming back that are more affected. Knock on wood, we've got a core of the group who've been playing a hell of a lot and are getting through it okay. So, but it is something we're trying to address.
After he came off, Romero did an interview where he's backed you as well, which is one side of it, but the other part is he seemed to kind of be asking the hierarchy of the club to kind of look at themselves maybe. What did you make of the comment?
Yeah, look, I think in the context of the day, Christian was really disappointed, obviously, more than disappointed in the fact that, he works hard to get back, and it was a big game for us, he knew that, and for him to have to go off and then watch the team sort of have to feel the pain of another defeat in the manner it happened. He was obviously very emotional. He's a leader in the club. He hasn't been able to help us, and I think it was his way of trying to, as a leader, to help us and the group in saying that, we're going through a tough time, but he believes in what we're doing. And then, the other part of it probably, he went about it sort of the wrong way in terms of, I think he's passionate about having success at the club, and I think, the way he probably expressed it was not the right way, particularly in a public sense, because I don't feel, and certainly not my belief, that, our kind of challenges at the moment are because of, one thing or one person. I don't believe that. I never have believed that. I think, whatever we need to do, we have the power to do that. But it'll only happen if we kind of stay united as a group, particularly through difficult times, get through on the other side. And I really believe if you can do that, you come out stronger. And like I said, Christian, he realises what he said. A lot of what he said was good. Some of what he said wasn't right and shouldn't be done in the public. I also believe that these things, we deal with them, within our own sort of four walls, because there's always issues and that we need to deal with. And the same way I wouldn't publicly criticise a player or anyone else, I don't think we should be doing that in the public sense.
And on that note, it's quite rare to hear a player speak like that, and you've just expressed how you feel about it. Will there be any repercussions for Christian as a result?
Well, again, I just think you deal with these things, internally. I just don't think there's any benefit in us. I know people get really sort of salacious about punishments and stuff. They really love that sort of thing. I think I'm pretty consistent in saying I don't think that that's important. I think what's more important is an understanding of, how we should deal with these things and deal with them better. And I've already spoken to Christian about it, and he's, like I said, he's apologised for the fact that the way he said it, particularly in the public sense, wasn't the right way to go about things. He is a human being. He got emotional, and I think he just expressed what he wanted to express, probably in the wrong way. He does care. I think it would have been easy for him not to say anything. He does care, but like I said, there's a way to do these things and a way to express yourself, and the way he did it wasn't the right way.
And just with Christian, Mickey and Ben Davis being out, leaves you obviously short at centre-back. Archie came on or moved into centre-back against Bournemouth. Is that the obvious solution, or is there a chance that Yves Bissouma could move into centre-back at this point? You have to get creative in that area?
Well, I have to get creative, No, look, I think Archie's probably the one for us at the moment that we need to sort of try and get to fill in there. He's done sort of right back, left back for us. He's had to play at centre back a little bit this year. He did during the pre-season. So we'll obviously with him and Radu, they're the two main sort of defenders. But we've still got sort of 5 or 6 games to navigate. So like I said, we may have to get creative at some point, and deal with it in a different way.
Matt, last one, please.
And if I could just have two. One's just to pick up. Thank you. One's just to pick up one more point on Christian. He said we need to imitate Manchester City, Chelsea, and Liverpool. I mean, is that completely unrealistic for Tottenham though, in terms of strengthening and spending?
Look, it depends kind of, in what respect. I think we know there are things that we can compete with. I don't think it's, like I said, I don't think it's just about finances. I think, yes, finances, where the club kind of sits, we kind of know there's a gap, but not between just us, with most clubs and some of those clubs. So we understand that, but within that context, I don't think it doesn't mean you can't be competitive in your own way. I think what Christian was kind of talking about, and it's what I believe as well, is that we should aim to think like those clubs and try and be successful every year. And I think the other thing that he did say, and quite clearly, is that it does have the elements of being a big club. It has the infrastructure, it has the stadium, it has the support. So it's very easy to kind of point the finger of blame about one thing, but also you've got to acknowledge that these things are there as well, because other clubs are endeavouring to do that. Some still have that journey ahead. So, look, it's just the way I kind of think, and I just don't think that it's one thing that will sort of get us to where we want to, and I don't think there's one thing that's stopping us from getting to where we want to. And I'm certainly as ambitious as everyone else is at the football club since I've been here to bring success, and that means taking on and trying to beat the teams that in some respects have extra resources, but we can find different ways of bridging that gap.
And on the game and the atmosphere, do you relish walking into the Bear Pit? Do you like it? In a way, does it bring out more of you? Does it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it brings out more of me. I mean, I'm like anyone else. I like a bit of love every now and then, mate. So, but I do enjoy that. I always kind of reflect, and it's we've all lived it. Is that once you experience football in empty stadiums, you realise how meaningless it is. It is. I felt through that whole period, COVID period, it was meaningless. I would win games, or it just so, as much as you go, it could be hostile tomorrow, but yeah, I mean, but that's what we love about the game. That's what brings it to life. Ultimately, it is a game that evokes passions and emotions, and sometimes that's not always positive, and like I said, like every human being, you'd love it to be positive, but it's not going to happen. But you definitely want that as if as opposed to sort of just playing the game in somewhere sterile where you don't have that.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.